You're joking, right?
Well, I'm trying to be hopeful. I'm trying to be optimistic about that.
Well, I guess you're too young to be a little pessimistic like me. The fucking things I see out there, people are stupid.
Hi. Oh, it's low. Hold on.
It is. What's going on, Barney Boo?
Well, today's a big day.
Yes.
Why?
Because I haven't seen you in a week. No, I'm teasing you. The
Less
day
than a
before the
week.
inauguration.
Yeah, that too. But today is the day that TikTok is officially gone. Can't
I
access
saw
it.
that. It's interesting.
It's crazy.
I said to Mom, do you want to talk about it?
People have been calling, like teenagers and kids have been calling 911 centers to air their grievances.
Okay, is that not the stupidest thing in the world? And how pathetic it is.
Well, they grew up on TikTok.
It's fucking retarded.
They
but
spend most of their time on that
Trump
app.
is the shit.
Why?
Because he's laying the law down. He wants to, protect America.
But
TikTok will come back, but I guess there's going to be certain restrictions and guidelines and things like that.
Yeah, Trump was the one who put the ban forward to begin with, but then now Trump is the one saying TikTok shouldn't be banned. The government, Biden's government, is the one that banned it.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. They're the one that pushed it through, and then Trump in the 11th hour is saying, this is wrong. This is against free speech. We need to unban it. I'm working with TikTok. Today he tweeted, free TikTok or something. So it's like, bro, pick a message.
No,
You're the one that started the ban.
No.
And the TikTok's final message, like if you went on the app last night, now you can't go on the app.
Mhm.
If you went on the app last night, it said President Trump, like they were appealing to Trump to save them. But it's like Trump was the one that put the nail in the coffin.
No, but I think that Trump is saying we're going to ban it, so to speak. And of course, Biden doing it. They want to try to get kudos for everything that, that Trump wants to do, or they want to harm Trump before he leaves tomorrow. However, I don't think when he's saying we're banning TikTok, he's just saying that we're going to correct and make sure America's safe and put certain restrictions on that. So I don't think it's to ban it completely. I never really thought it was going to be like TikTok's over with. He always said he wants to either be American owned, whatever it might be. There's definitely ways to protect our safety of our country rather than having the China app, so to speak. That's what I've always understood it to be.
Yeah,
you're taking a literal thing of it as opposed to what I think really what Trump's intentions are.
I'm just looking at the optics. A year ago, Trump was like, TikTok is bad.
Correct.
We need to ban it. And now he's like, free TikTok.
No, but I think he's
But
not saying,
but that's literally if you look
free.
at his tweets.
But you understand that but Bronny, it's not life and everything is not black and white. You're just taking the words.
No, I'm not saying Trump's horrible. I'm just saying if you look at the optics, there's confusion there. And Trump, I think, should be doing better messaging on this TikTok thing. And instead of being like, oh, I love TikTok now, which is what he's doing, he's like, I'm working
He's
with
not saying I love TikTok. That's what he's
like,
doing.
I'm working with the founders of TikTok. We're going to make this. And then a year ago, he was like, TikTok is horrible. I just think there's better way to do it.
Okay, fine.
That's all I'm saying.
I think he thinks TikTok is terrible, and he's going to try to make it better for the protection of our country and national security and everything like that. And that's what he's going to do.
I'm conflicted. Now the TikTok is actually gone, which is weird.
I think it's a great thing. Let it be fucking gone.
Why?
I don't know. Like, I think it's ridiculous. People just sit there and do nothing on TikTok.
So you're saying a moral thing. Like you're saying we don't need it, right? But then why is the government, but also we don't need alcohol. Alcohol isn't good for society, but we don't want the government.
I'm making general statements, right?
Yeah, but I'm asking,
right?
Like, based on your statement, why should the government? Because I'm conflicted on it. Because on the one hand, I don't think it's good for society, TikTok. And potentially, I guess they tell us that it's dangerous. They haven't shown us any evidence of how it's dangerous, right? Like how it is a national security threat.
Well, it's a China. So there are
other Chinese apps on the App Store.
There's
a bunch. No, look at my fingers.
Okay, I know. All right, good. Very nice.
Yes, thank you.
Good. So I'm saying don't pick. Very nice. Actually, they're not pink. They're not. Yeah,
Yes.
No, very nice.
Thank you.
They used to be pink and raw, so good for
they're
you.
complete. Thank you.
Good for you.
Thank you.
Wow, impressive. All right,
there are other Chinese apps. I mean, there's so much to talk about this TikTok stuff because they've been saying TikTok
I want to
is
talk
a
about
national
engagement
security
party too.
threat.
I want to talk about tomorrow's inauguration.
Yeah, we have a lot to talk about.
I
We have
want
to
to
talk about the ceasefire.
Yes, I
But
want to
this
talk
we're
about
just-
American Primeval, which you told me to watch, which
Okay.
is killer.
But we just jumped right into this, which is good that we jumped
Look,
into
I don't know.
And this is very pressing. Everyone's talking
I
about it.
don't know the details of, because we know
But
TikTok.
wouldn't you like to? If they say we are taking something that you as Americans had, right? We in America, we say we are the land of the free. You in America had this thing that you enjoyed. And we are completely taking it away from you because of national security. Wouldn't you like to be like,
No,
but
that is-
why?
No, that's
what
a
is the
valid
national
concern.
security?
No, that's valid concern where governments get involved too much. I hear
Because
you.
then they can say we're taking away the internet, national security, and then it's like, okay, but why? Tell me what the reasons are.
Fair enough.
And they haven't done that with
Fair
TikTok.
enough.
And the thing is, like they say, oh, it's Chinese spyware, and it's like, yes, but there are a bunch of other Chinese
Yeah,
apps
but-
that are still in the App Store.
But China, this is a huge, and I agree with you. I do agree with you where that
it's a government overreach.
it is. Okay,
None of us voted on it.
you're right. I do agree with you on that. However, I'm just plain thinking out loud. There's these algorithms and how they listen and the data and the information they get is so unbelievable and it's huge. TikTok, it's huge that China could be using this to either, I don't want to say brainwash, because that's not what I'm saying, but you know how you get addicted to it
I'm sure they are.
so that part is and
But then there's
learning about our society and our people individually, that's like some scary shit.
Yeah, so I have two responses to that. I agree. China was definitely doing that, and like everyone
It also
knew about
it.
it.
Also sends a big message to China what we just did.
Yeah.
It sends a message.
So
Like a new
my
sheriff in
two
town.
responses is, like, okay,
Is it
so
two
does
responses is or two responses
my
are?
two responses to that are
Right. Okay.
thank you. My two responses to that are one
Semicolon.
is
I'm teasing.
like. Okay, so let's take what you said as the truth, which I think that
And
was the
I-
case.
Right. And I don't know. I'm just giving food for
Yeah.
thought.
No, but and I think that that's the case.
Right.
And that but no one was like, that wasn't a surprise to anyone. Everyone with TikTok were
I
like,
know, but
yeah,
peop-
China's listening
But
to me.
people are stupid.
Right, but then my next two questions are, okay, so let's take that. Then, one, should the U.S. government be banning our speech because another government is listening?
Okay.
Right, because governments are always listening, right? There are Chinese spy satellites in the air that are listening. So it's like, should the government restrict speech between me and you? Right, like our podcast was posted on that. And now the government has said, nope, you cannot share your thoughts because another country might be listening.
It's 100%.
And
It's
that's-
100%
that's
excellent point.
Literally against the First Amendment. That's a
100%.
freedom of speech right that we have.
I agree with you.
To share our thoughts on the internet, and the government has said no.
I
Then
agree with you.
The second rebuttal to that point, which I agree with the point you made.
And I agree with what you're saying.
The second rebuttal is, okay, so sure, the government is going to say, we're not going to allow Chinese government to listen and spy on people through their phones, but they're going to let American companies do it, right? Like everyone still has Instagram, and Instagram does the exact same thing. So we're okay with other companies spying, but just not this one. And it's like, we have European apps on our phone. They're probably like, that, you know, it's just like, it doesn't make sense. Why just this one country when you haven't shown us what the threat is? You haven't told us what the threat is.
But we know China is a serious adversary. It'd be like the same as like Russia. So
Okay,
listen,
but there are Chinese apps on our phone.
Listen.
Everyone, when TikTok shut down, everyone has flocked to this. Have you heard about this?
No, I
There's a Chinese TikTok. Like it's literally in Chinese. The name is Guangqing Chu or whatever. But
God bless you.
It translates to Red Note, and it's like a Chinese social media that now everyone is on. Not everyone, but a lot of Americans have gone and joined this Red Note Chinese communist government app. So it's like they haven't banned that one. So it, like, you know, it just it's
no, you bring up
it
valid
doesn't make
points about
sense.
government control being too overreaching. I agree with you.
It's
on
literally a violation of our free
Freedom.
speech First Amendment.
that. Oh, is that going to damage our
No,
cord?
no.
I don't agree with you. All right.
It just, and especially it bothers me that it came from Trump and the Republican Party. This ban idea came from them, and they ran on freedom of speech. They ran on the government and the internet and the
Too much
social media
control.
companies shouldn't be telling you what you can say. They're banning you guys left and right on these social media companies, and that's wrong.
You're right.
But then now they're straight up banning
You're right.
not just individuals, they're banning the entire fucking platform.
You're right.
It's like how we were all complaining about the Twitter files and being like, wow, the FBI was going into Twitter and telling Twitter what they should and shouldn't do. It's like the government just took a way larger step and said,
But Biden's the one that banned it.
well, he didn't ban it. The government, the Congress banned it, and then the Supreme Court upheld it. Trump's Supreme Court, as they call it.
No, but
A
right
9-0.
Right now, under the Biden administration,
Yeah, he didn't veto the bill, so he didn't do it. But Trump was the one that started the movement.
so now maybe I get it, but
So you could say it's bipartisan. Everyone in government was involved,
now maybe
which makes it even worse to me.
But it's under Biden administration, and maybe now Trump is going to say, "Listen, we're going to fix this because we don't want to take away the First Amendment right. We're just going to make sure it's a little safer."
yeah, Trump said that
Because
his
if
plan
what you
is-
tell me is tweeting, I'm sorry for interrupting. If he's tweeting saying, "Let's do this, let's get TikTok back," he believes in First Amendment rights, I guess, obviously, because he wants it, and maybe he's just going to refine it, certain regulations, certain things to control to protect American people.
yeah, make sure.
What
that
did he say?
Um,
You said Trump said,
yeah. Oh, Trump said that his plan is like when he gets into office is to give them like an extended 90-day period, because the whole point of the reason why it's banned was that the government, which I'm okay with this idea, I guess. The government said we're either like sell it to an American buyer or you'll be banned. It was kind of like an ultimatum. And then they didn't sell it to an American buyer in time, so it got banned. So Trump said he wants to give them a 90-day extension to find a buyer so that it'll stay up for another 90 days and the company can hopefully, find a buyer within that 90 days. And then if they don't, I guess it'll still be banned again.
or restricted in certain ways.
Yeah.
Like just, certain regulatory things that might not apply under the Biden administration and China.
Yeah. It's just conflicting because I agree with the national security idea, right? It's like, I agree that if there's something that poses a big national security threat,
You have to protect the country.
that the government, that is one of their biggest obligations. And like in my, I took a whole class on the First Amendment, right? In First Amendment jurisprudence, national security is like a big thing that they can use to abridge your speech. But it has
and take your property with eminent domain and things like that.
well, that's not freedom of speech. That's not
I'm
First
making
Amendment.
an analogy.
Yeah.
Really? I did not know that.
I know, but I'm talking within First
I'm
Amendment.
making an analogy of the government having the control. That's all I'm doing.
Yeah. But in First Amendment, like for freedom of speech, for national security, it has to pass strict scrutiny, which is like a really, really high bar that you have to prove. Like you have a really high bar to meet in order to uphold, uphold restricting speech for national security.
It's a strong burden.
And that's where I'm sitting here and I'm like, the government hasn't shown us anything. They're just saying China's spying on you. And it's like, okay, yeah, but they were spying on us before TikTok. They're going to be spying on us after
blame
TikTok.
Biden. It's banned under his administration.
No, but that's unfair of you. It was Trump's idea. It's Trump's court that upheld it. And Trump will probably come into office and it might get this 90-day extension, but it'll still probably be banned.
You said when you started, you're conflicting because Trump is saying free TikTok and do these things. I just think he wants to do certain restrictions and have certain controls and guidelines. There's nothing wrong with parenting it to make sure it benefits up the people, the children, which is the children of America.
But then it's also like they're not going after Instagram and X and Facebook for spying on us.
Okay, but there's a
And then if they sell TikTok to an American company, it's like all of those same quote unquote spying protocols are still going to be in. They're still going to be listening to us.
I get it.
So we're okay with Zuckerberg listening to us, but we're not okay with China listening to us, I guess. I mean, I am more, if it has to be one or the other, I guess if it has to be, I am more okay with an American company spying on me than a foreign company. But still, it's like I don't want you spying on me.
Okay, I get it, but it's like this. You have a pilot, right? You have a pilot. Do you want your pilot to be an American pilot flying the plane that has kids and married and is born in America and contributes to America, or do you want a Middle Eastern ISIS pilot taking? I'm just making an analogy. I mean, like if you're American, you have a better chance of not wanting to harm your own America as opposed.
That's not true. Look at all of the companies during COVID and all of the companies when Trump was president. They were silencing us on Instagram.
You understand what I'm saying, though?
I know, but I just don't think that that's true.
Okay.
That American companies aren't interested in harming American citizens. I think American companies have the exact same incentives as the Chinese companies.
I think American companies, it's about finances as opposed to China that wants to take over America and bring them down. There's a slight difference.
So I think the
There is a
Chinese,
slight difference.
I mean, I think there's truth to like the
Money's
Chinese
a little
are-
bit different than harming and saying we want to take over your country.
I don't think China wants to take over America.
You know what I mean? Like harm America.
But I think China was using TikTok to spy on Americans because they were like, we want to probably weaken America. We want to know as much about our enemy as possible. Which is like, okay, first of all, there's no way that the U.S. isn't doing that in China. So for us to be like, China can't do it, it's like, we're doing it there.
That's okay if we do it.
But then
there.
also it's like the American social media companies are spying on us, but just so that they can exploit us. It's not a security thing. It's like but they want to get into our homes.
Same as the bullshit food, same as the pharmaceutical. Yeah, those are all problems.
Right, and it's like when you look at Pfizer, you're not like, oh, they care about. You said,
do not care.
I'd rather an American pilot because I know that they care about the American people. It's like when you look at Pfizer, they don't care about the American people. They actually actively want to harm
you understand.
the American
I know.
people.
There's no 100% foolproof. I'm just saying, if I don't have a problem with. I don't have a problem. I understand what you're saying on the issue, and I agree because there's many different issues and layers with regards to what transpired with TikTok being banned.
And that's why I'm not like, this is horrible, this ban. I'm
There's
conflicted on it.
there's so many different art. We can.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many different issues.
Yeah,
but
and there's not one right path to take.
But I'm okay if it's our enemies that if we have regulations in our country that are people that are not
Regulations
American
on speech, you're saying.
on regulations on any foreign company that is an enemy of ours, that if America regulates it, I just think that's okay.
Yeah, I agree with you, like in the big picture.
In the general,
But
I'm talking general.
Yeah, but it just gets, like, when the government takes away freedoms of ours, which this is what it is. They have banned an entire platform for us to be able to communicate on. TikTok was huge in our lives. Think about all of the messages that we were able to get out and all of the communication that we were able to do.
We got banned a lot.
Yeah. But now we're fully banned, right? We can't, we physically cannot
post.
But they were able to completely restrict a channel of communication on the basis of national security. And you're saying, I'm okay with that. And it's like, yeah, I guess
I'm
saying
I know
I'm okay with it generally too,
saying.
but it's like it's such a slippery slope because it's like the frog in boiling water, right?
Yes.
They say, "Oh, China's spying on us, so we're going to remove TikTok," and you're like, "Yeah, that's a stupid app. It's making our country worse, anyways. It's stupid. Ban it." But then it's like we're going to now restrict the internet because China's using the internet to spy on you.
Books you can read. I get it.
Yeah, it's like we're going to ban television because Chinese channels are on it. And it's like. In the form of national security, we're going to ban. You can't go. They can keep going and going and going. We're going to ban. You can't go on planes because China can have access to the planes. It's like
let's see what Trump does.
It's a slippery slope.
It is a very slippery slope,
and it's just worrying me that they actually did it. Like it's gone. TikTok is actually gone. You cannot go on the app now.
And I think let's see what Trump does. And I think the fact that so many people are on TikTok and so many people are these voters, it's coming back. That's my opinion.
Especially
look at this dog right in my face.
Trump but Trump, when he won, a big thing that he won on was like the youth vote. And he was like, the youth really helped me. We can't have him barking in here.
It's okay. He just wants attention.
And the youth vote is so behind TikTok that I think there's so much pressure to keep it up.
It's like the old people that are voters.
Right, like they'll never get rid of Social Security or something.
Or driver licenses because they're voters.
Right. So, and I think a big thing in this election was the youth vote for Trump.
It'll come back.
And the youth is on TikTok.
It'll come back. It'll come back with restrictions.
I think it will. But TikTok was huge in our lives.
Yeah.
This podcast really only exists because of TikTok. That was where we started getting listeners.
Well,
I don't think we would have kept it up if we didn't have the listeners because of TikTok.
I agree. It'll come back.
I met my fiance because of TikTok.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I'm probably only living in Florida because of TikTok. Crazy shit because of that one app. And now it's gone.
Thanks. Go.
We had 300,000 followers on there, and now it's just gone.
So will the same followers come back, or do you lose? You think when it comes back?
We don't know. We have no idea.
All right.
And everyone thought it was going to be through till Sunday. Like people thought it was going to be. We were going to have until tonight, right? We're recording this Sunday, but last night at like 10 p.m. it just was gone. So everyone was like, it felt like the rug was pulled out from under you.
Biden.
No, that was TikTok pulled it early.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, they shut it down early.
Oh, so it's TikTok that did it.
TikTok shut it down earlier than they needed to.
Okay.
That's what, like only a couple hours earlier.
All right,
so like I wanted to post a video being like, thank you. I had it ready. And I went to post it. And it was a video just being like, because I didn't know when they were going to shut it down. Just wanted to be like, thank you guys so much for supporting us. This has been a great couple of years. Make sure to go follow us on all our other platforms, because even though TikTok is going, we're not going. This app has been so important. We've been able to communicate with all of you guys, follow you. We couldn't be doing this without you. And then I went to post and it didn't let me. It was gone.
Wow.
Crazy. Yeah.
Huh.
End of an era.
It's coming back.
Yeah, we'll see. Okay, so
let's talk. There's a couple things I want to talk about.
Okay.
I want to talk about your engagement party.
Okay, let's do that.
I'm going through my list. I want to talk about a little bit about the fires again, which is so sad.
Okay.
Not major, but talk about that. And then talk about the inauguration. And briefly, how's law school going? You went back a week now?
Yep.
Do you like being back?
Yeah, definitely like ready. You're on break for a month. It's too long.
What class are you taking?
AI law.
Which is so new to me.
There's not even a textbook.
Because it's reading constantly evolving.
Scholarly articles
it's constantly evolving.
Yeah. Like literally we're reading articles that were written last week.
That's gonna evolve over the next 5-10 years. That's very interesting.
God, it's gonna be, even the professor was saying he taught the class last year, and he's like, I have all the material is completely new. He's like, I couldn't reuse anything from last year because everything has changed. He was like, even 2 weeks ago to now, things have changed. Like, it's crazy. Wow. So I think that's going to be a really important class.
Well, I don't know how you even teach it because it's constantly evolving.
Well, so he said, like, my approach to how
it's gonna be a lot of
I want
to
teach it. No, there's no case law.
I'm saying over the
years.
Will
be, yeah. But he's like, how I want to teach it is how we should think about how to regulate this new technology, because we're not regulating it right now. So he's like, how we should think about regulating it, and we're going to look at how the government has regulated previous new technologies that have emerged and came out of nowhere and were really important and world-changing, and how has the government responded to that, and we're going to look at those to see maybe how we can draw a parallel to
use
this
as a base.
Which I was like, that's a really, because he's like, the new technologies that are disruptive and the government responding to them, he's like, the government does have measures in place. Like, this isn't new, even though AI technology is new. Like, the railroad came out of nowhere, and then it disrupted everything, and everyone needed to revamp the whole country needed to be revamped.
A little bit, yes, and I agree with that.
And it was like, there were so many property issues. Where like here, there's intellectual property issues. When the railroad came, it was like real.
But the
property
evolution
issues.
of AI is very different than
it's quicker.
That the tangible items of even if you have Facebook, it's still a base type of thing.
Yeah.
All right.
But he was like, we can see how government has regulated new technologies, what they did right, what they did wrong, and then we can learn how to take that idea and approach it to this new technology. No, smaller class, which is better.
Yeah. What else do you have quickly?
Professional responsibility,
which
we have to take, which I'm taking the MPRE for that this semester.
You could take the MPREs early?
You have to.
But I took it the same time I took the bar.
Most people take it.
It's 200 questions. It's still 200 questions? Multiple choice?
It's 1 hour, I think.
What?
It's multiple choice. I think it's 60 questions.
The MPREs were the professional and
multi-state professional responsibility exam.
Yeah, that's what we took.
It's like the first part of the bar.
But we never took it in law school. We took it after we graduated.
Oh, no. Everyone takes it before now because they say you don't want to be studying for both the bar and the MPRE at the same time.
And you could retake it again, right?
Yeah. And so you want to take it as early as possible, because if you don't pass, which everyone passes, but they're like, if you don't pass,
it's not passing. It's a grade you get in it.
No, you either pass it or no, but you have to get above an 80 to pass. But if you get below that, you have to take it again. You won't be sworn
eligible. Right. Correct. We had that.
But the thing is, they tell you want to take it as early as possible because they only offer it 3 times a year, and so they're like, one, you want to have it under your belt before you start studying for the bar, so you don't have to be doing both. And if you take it late,
you're a year and a half away.
Yeah, but they're like, if you take it late, or if you take it like right before the bar, if you fail, you have to take it after the bar.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, so
You'll be fine.
You take the bar, you pass, and you can't be sworn in because you have to take the MPRE after.
I understand that.
So they're like, why even wait? There's just no point.
We took it, I think the same day as the bar that were like very close to it. We never were able to take
things
it in
have just
law
changed.
school. And it was 200 questions, remember that?
Everyone now takes it.
All right, good.
A lot of people in my class have already taken it. They took it over the summer.
You'll be fine.
Yeah.
When is that?
March.
Okay, what
So
are
I'm
the
taking
classes?
the MPRE or the professional responsibility.
Before Italy?
No, after.
Okay, you'll be ready. It's no big deal.
And then litigation skills, which is a lot, like already so much work. I have to do it on Tuesday. I have to do a cross-examination, a direct examination. I'm the plaintiff. I have to do a direct examination of my witness and then cross.
You want me to help you with that?
No, it's like we have 6 minutes for each. But that class, every week, we have to like
I love that.
present like we're in a trial. And my professor is a judge. We have two. One of them was a district judge who literally just retired, and then another is a appellate judge on the Florida Court of Appeals. So, and they're like the judges in the, and so every week we have a skill that we have to learn, right? So this week the skill is, direct and cross examination, and then next week I don't know what it is, but or like introducing exhibits.
You got
is
a
next week or
little
something.
bit of seeing me do that in that trial. Remember?
Yeah, but that's one class, but it's a lot of work. We meet 6 to 9 p.m., 6:30 to 9:30 p.m. Tuesdays and Thursdays for that class.
Okay,
It's annoying. What else? Media law, which is about it's like freedom of the press.
Okay.
What the government can and can't do for like the press, whistleblower stuff, reporting, news reporting. So that'll be interesting. And then I'm in another one. Oh, startup law. It's like entrepreneurship startup law.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about your engagement party. First, I want to give it a shit out. I wanted to give a shout out to, we had a couple of our OGs, right? Robin, Ginsburg, Beth was there. It's interesting.
At the engagement party.
Yeah, so I want to give a shout out to those guys. They were like, so did you have a great time?
Yeah, it was really great.
I mean, first of all, you have a nice group of friends. Really, really nice group of friends.
Yeah.
The weather, we got lucky. It started off bad. The rain at like 11 in the morning.
Yeah, yeah.
And Hannah had fun. Her parents had fun.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah,
it was really enjoyable.
It was a nice.
We had the party here at the house.
We had 100+ people, a lot of staff with the caterers who I think did a great job.
Yeah.
I mean, they really
did.
knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, I didn't get to eat any of the food.
Well, I ate like 4 pieces of meat afterwards at the end.
Same. I ate it the next day,
which is really good, by the way.
I'll be posting pictures.
It went fast.
Yeah, but that's how they. I'm glad that it was like a trial run for the wedding because there were so many people. Every 2 minutes, I'm having to say hi to a new person. That the night went away from me. I was like, I don't even remember anything.
Yeah, no, you're gonna have
so
to
now
change
it's like
that for
the
wedding.
I have to really focus on being like, okay, I have to focus on.
Remember what I told you?
And you get sucked in. Like
Yes.
you're talking to someone and you want to be nice, and so you haven't seen them in 6 months, and so they're talking to you, and they're like, I want to take 10 minutes of your time, and it's like, if everyone takes 10 minutes of my
you
time,
have no wedding.
So I have to, I have to be at the wedding. I have to be like, okay, it was great to see you. I have to keep going, but like I have to be stronger.
Remember what I told
on
you? Every hour you got to take us.
Yeah, but it's like that's even impossible. How do you keep track of the hours?
I'll help
the
you.
night just
the
went.
wedding. I'm gonna have a good time at the wedding. I'll keep an eye on you and make sure you guys have that time.
Yeah, because you know that. So I mean, more at the wedding than at the engagement party.
Know.
People are going to be like, "Wait, let me sit down with you for 10
and
minutes."
You get caught on the web.
Yeah.
I'll pull you away. I'll keep an eye on you.
Yeah, I got to be stronger about that.
I want to have a good time at the wedding.
Yeah, we definitely will.
I told Mom like it was a great event, beautiful, so much fun, but I couldn't even enjoy it. Like I spent 10 minutes with Mom.
Well, there were just so many people that it's like your attention was just everywhere. It was scattered.
But the venue worked out perfectly.
No, everything about it was great.
Yeah, no,
it was really
nice.
enjoyable.
A lot of prep for that. I can't imagine the amount of prep for the wedding. Like to me, I'm just a guest at the wedding. It's easy. I'm gonna party, have a great time.
Prep.
We're
We've been
gonna have fun.
prepping for months, and it's pretty much like emails every single day. I'm not really doing much with it, but I'm on the email.
I'm
chain
glad
and
I'm
stuff.
a guy. It's easier.
Yeah, I mean, it's just there's just so many things you don't even think about, and you're like, oh shit, we have to do that, and then you're like, oh shit, we have to get a generator for that, and then you're like, okay, now I need to find a vendor for a generator. Like, there's so many.
See, we did it
little
without
things.
wedding planners. Like Mom did the whole thing. You know, back in our day, there was no wedding planner. This is like the past 15 years or whatever.
Yeah.
It's all different.
I mean, now a lot of these places, like, you can't even get through the door of companies, vendors, venues without a wedding planner. It's kind of ridiculous.
Do they make a flat fee or percentage?
Some do. Like, it depends on the person.
What's your person? Flat fee?
Flat.
It's better that
We
way.
wanted flat.
Because otherwise, there's no there's no incentive for them to.
No, the
save
incentive
money.
is to jack it up.
Correct.
Some people charge a flat fee and a percentage. They were like, a flat fee of this, and if your budget goes over, then we start doing a percentage on the overage. And it's like, oh my God.
Fucking
The whole
crazy.
thing's a scam. And the thing is,
It's a
everyone, there's like a wedding tax. All of these vendors know you're getting married. You have no choice but to do flowers. So if we're doing flowers for a wedding, you're getting charged more than if you were doing flowers for something else. Because like they know they got you because you're having your wedding, right? Like you can't not have flowers.
But can't you shop around?
Yeah, but it's like a cartel.
Well,
Why would one person break away and make less money? If they all know that you have to do it, why would one person be like, you know what, I'm going to make way less than you? And people will come to me. It's like, no, that's just not how it works.
We save, like, even our caterer, they make a markup of shit. So when for the engagement party, I found my own valet person. I saved $1,300 on the valet.
Yeah.
No, that's huge.
Right.
Remember, we had to get heaters. They wanted $225 a heater. We had to get like 8 of them.
Yeah.
We bought them for $125.
Yeah.
And now we have them. No, but you could save money.
Totally.
But it probably saved us $5,000 on bullshit stuff.
Yeah.
For the
And
one night.
Extrapolate that to a wedding with so many more vendors.
$50,000.
Yeah.
Right.
But then again, there is something to convenience. Like if you're going with, if you have 3 vendors that are handling it all and they're charging you a little more than 30 vendors who all have to coordinate on the day
correct.
of, it's like, that's a.
Did I tell you in California, my thoughts on California. So, we're doing the rehearsal dinner.
Yes.
So it's going to be that's going to be a great, great night. So forget about the event for a moment, the cost of the event, which is really relevant. They're charging, did I tell you this already?
A wellness fee or something?
No, listen, they charge 10% sales tax. They charge 20% gratuity.
Okay.
No, listen, they charge.
Well, that's everywhere.
No, listen. 18% service fee.
So at 20%
Gratuity.
So there's 50%
I'm not done yet.
extra.
And 5% wellness fee. So it's 43%.
No,
I got 10, 20, 18, and 5. It's 43%.
No. 10, 20 is 30.
18, it's 48. Oh, no.
Right. It's over 50.
Okay, that's even more retarded. So I got them to waive the wellness fee. Ronnie, you're talking 40% on top of everything.
Yeah.
Ronnie, what the fuck? How can anyone live in California?
Well, in Florida, it would just be 3% less. That's it.
3%, no, plus the gratuity.
No, these places, what do you mean? When I go to fucking the Chinese restaurant and I get a thing for $12, a pad thai or whatever, that's Thai food, not Chinese. I go to the Thai restaurant, I get a $8 meal. They charge a 20% automatic gratuity in Florida.
That's a gratuity.
Right, okay. No, but it's, bless you. That's not a California thing. That's everywhere.
California's more expensive and this fucking wellness fee, which I got to know waive.
But the wellness fee is now everywhere. Everyone's doing that.
We don't have it.
Yeah, so many places in Miami have a wellness fee. Or they charge you for water, or they charge you for. There's all these things.
It's crazy.
It's just so that it's a scam.
It's a scam. It's an extra fee.
No, it's just so that the restaurant. It's not a scam because the restaurant doesn't keep it. It goes to the staff. It's so that the restaurant doesn't have to pay the staff health insurance.
Scam. It's a scam.
They're offloading their duties as an employer to the customer.
Yep.
I mean, then again, if they didn't have that, they would just probably raise prices.
They're still raising the prices.
Yeah.
We were at the resort last
All I'm telling you is that's not a California thing. That's everywhere now.
It's a problem. It's a problem.
It's everywhere. That's the state of because everyone just says okay.
Right.
You used to.
I don't. I don't say okay. Wait, we went to the resort last week. You know how they give the bottle, the regular water, they fill up. Some of it's flat, and they also have the same bottle where they get the carbonated.
Sparkling.
They wanted, so we get the bill, $5.
Right. See, I told you that they charge for water.
No, listen, and we said no. They took it off.
Yeah.
We're like, wait, tap
most people
water?
don't say no.
Correct. Tap water. You're gonna charge me $5? People
Yeah, and
need
they'll
to-
say, "Oh, well, we have a filtration system." It's like, yeah, you
That's your
chose to have the
business.
filtration
People
system.
need to start.
I asked for
speaking
tap water.
People need to start speaking up.
I mean, with the tipping, it's insane. Yesterday at the Panther game, we just got 2 waters, and it was
Did
like
Hana go?
It was, yeah,
Good.
it was like 15, or it was like 18, 20, and 22%. It's like you went like this. You turned around, you opened a fridge, you grabbed me 2 waters.
You don't have to give any tip.
No, and it's like if I'm going to give a tip, it's $2.
Right. Don't give
I'm not
any
giving
tip.
20%.
Don't give a single tip.
No, I know, but most people, it's like they just do it.
You're right.
Because they're like, oh, maybe people won't say anything. They'll just do it, and then it's going to keep going up and up and up. Soon they're going to ask for 35% tip on your beer.
As you get older and you see when you're working for your money and you have all your expenses, you're going to see you're not going to tolerate it because the
No, I
money
know.
goes.
And then Hana always feels bad, and she's like, "Let me
I
just
know,
do the
Mom-
50%. It's only $2." I'm like, "No." And I
Mom
no
does
tip.
that. Mom's like,
And I do it in
"Come on."
front of the person. I'm like, "No tip."
It means more to them than to you. And I'm like, but yeah, I get it.
And it's like, okay, but they didn't do anything.
I know.
If there's a waiter and I'm at a sit-down restaurant and they're serving in this, it's like, yeah, of course I'm going to tip them.
Down.
But it's also, there's not an automatic given 20% tip. If you were a shitty waiter, you're getting 15%. I'm still tipping you, but you're getting less. If you're a great waiter, I'm maybe going to give you a little more. But the automatic default of 20%
I hate
tip
it.
is insane. You go to Chipotle, they're like
slow
20%
down,
tip.
Slow down. Two other things. Did you get the Venmo from Scup?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I got it from you.
Right. So I'm saying.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is, Hana looked beautiful on the engagement party. I mean, class act.
You guys will see pictures.
She looked great.
Yeah.
You both look great. I'm telling you right now. Yeah, beautiful. Beautiful.
Thanks.
I didn't get to say goodbye. I went out to the garbage. I thought everyone was going to stay over. And I'm like, wait, they're gone? I didn't
It was
stay
like 2:30 in the morning.
I remember. But they drove home.
Yeah.
Did he drive?
Yeah.
Wow.
Don't say anything.
I'm just saying. But I'm like, oh man, fuck. I was like, I didn't get to say goodbye, but it's all right. It is what
and
it is.
I was quick.
Yeah, I went to it.
I'll show you
I was
pictures.
in pain.
They're great pictures.
The next day, Brian, I was in pain.
You're old.
No, Brian, I went since 11 o'clock in the morning. I do want to see photos, but it was beautiful. She looked fucking great, and all our friends saying how nice, and it was nice.
It was a great time.
All right, what else we got?
The inauguration and all the stuff that's come. Like, there's so many things in the last few days that have happened because, well, some people will say not because Trump is about to become president, but I think it's because Trump's about to become
100%.
president.
So let's talk about the inauguration. It's indoors. They're saying because of the cold. I think it's because of safety personally, but that's a separate issue.
I think it's because the last inauguration I don't think this would be the case with this one, but I think that they're worried because the last inauguration, there was that whole thing about the attendance numbers and Trump lied about it. Remember, Trump was like, it was the largest inauguration, most attended inauguration in the history of America. And then people showed pictures, which is like, you can't lie. People just showed pictures and there was like an embarrassing amount of people there. Do you remember that whole thing?
I don't remember.
And Trump was like, these pictures are a lie. This is fake news. And it's like, no, they're not. I think that was such a fiasco that because it was like cold, they were even more worried about people not showing up. And so they're like, let's just change the venue.
I think it's a safety thing personally, but okay.
But
we'll never know.
Not every inauguration in history, but every inauguration in modern history has been in the same place.
You're right, but not 2 attempted assassins within like the last year.
But there have been plenty of assassination attempts on presidents. Presidents have actually been assassinated.
Okay. You understand though, if you've had 2 attempts, wouldn't you want to keep the safety and more confined and protected?
Yeah, but what's the difference between indoors and outdoors?
Because they're doing it in the Capitol, or
I don't know where they're doing
doing it in the Capitol. Yeah, doing it in the Capitol, I believe. It's much easier when you have a limited, defined number of people in a certain
just shut down the
boundary.
entire city. You're the Secret Service.
Okay, you understand?
Your job is to keep the president safe. The president wants to do it outside.
I'm not going to argue it. You understand? There's a difference if I say let's have an event in the park or let's have an event in our house. Right? Even with Secret Service, there's a difference in safety.
Yeah, I just think like that's their job.
All right, so what's the issue? I know it's their job, but even with just people, there's human error and shit. Then sometimes the criminals could be smarter than the government. Sometimes
But
it
then
happens.
they failed.
I get it, but my point is,
But also, if you're saying just limit risk as much as possible.
listen, as a parent, I could say the parents love their kids, but kids get kidnapped. Sometimes it happens. Parents fail. Sometimes circumstances.
But if it's like you're breaking with tradition.
okay, you understand if there's again, these are just all hypotheticals because we don't know the real reason.
Of course.
But on the same token, you can understand that it's not about tradition, meaning.
But it is. That's the whole point of the inauguration. Like, the inauguration isn't just about the new person becoming the president, because otherwise they would just do it in they would have always done it in the Congress building. It's way easier, way cheaper.
There's many factors.
The whole point of it is like projecting to the country and the world, like, here we are starting new. We're on a huge stage. There's tens of thousands of people. It's like a huge spectacle because this is signifying a new regime, right? Like, that's important. There's optics there, and they're just being like, no, we're not doing that anymore.
No, it's still going to be the optics. It's still going to be people.
That stage used to be drastic.
Yeah, all right, but who knows if it's cold or not? I don't know the answer to that.
No, yeah, but
I'm not fighting with you. So
I'm just saying, like,
I think it's a safety thing.
Yeah, but they've always been unsafe. Every president has always had people that wanted to kill them.
But there's a difference, though. There's a slight difference in this one. There's a little more hostile.
So put him in a cage of. Did you watch Day of the Jackal?
No, I watched.
There was an assassination attempt on the guy doing a speech. So he was like, I'm not. They wanted to cancel the speech. He was like, I'm not canceling the speech because then the people will win. So
they shot him when he got through the revolving door, which is interesting.
No, you're thinking of the
first episode.
Yeah, no, this is in the 8th episode. This is like the second to last. Guys. He said, I'm not canceling the speech because then they win.
Don't tell me what happened.
So no, he said, your job as a security team is to make sure I'm safe. I'm doing what I want to do. Your job is to make sure I'm safe. So they built he walked into a bulletproof glass cage, and he conducted a speech there, and he was encased in bulletproof glass, but he was still in public in front of everyone. It's like, just do that then.
Okay, all right.
I think it's because of numbers.
I don't think it's because of numbers. 100% because of numbers. That would be a huge amount of numbers.
Well, there wasn't last time. I think there would be way more this time, but then I think last time it was such a debacle. It was for weeks. That was what all the news was talking about. And then I think because it's extra cold up there, that they were even more worried. They're like, shit, people might not show up.
Okay. I don't agree with you, but okay.
Yeah, I mean, we'll never know. It's just my opinion.
Right.
Just my thought on it. The CEO of TikTok is going to be there. It's like, why the fuck is that? This whole TikTok thing is happening. Like, why is
because they don't want to get on his good side. They don't want to show support. Why is he even
invited? TikTok is, quote unquote, the enemy because they need to be banned.
But if he's trying to work something out with TikTok, maybe.
But he's a Chinese. Why is a Chinese person?
I don't know.
A Chinese national. Chinese American, different story. Why is a Chinese national sitting behind the president at the inauguration? That's fucked up.
I don't know.
You don't have a problem with that? You just said it. You're okay
I don't know why he got invited.
I know, but I don't know why either.
I would think it's weird that he's invited.
I have a problem with that. I also have a problem that behind Trump is going to be Elon, Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg. These guys are tech people that run the biggest companies in America. I don't think that they should be sitting buddy-buddy with the president at the inauguration. It sends a bad message that I mean, we know that this is the case, but with Biden, every Republican, here's my thing. I think that I've always been on the same side. People are like, oh, now you're pro-Trump. It's like, no. I've always been on the same side. Everyone else wishy-washes. So when Biden was president, everyone was like, the government is in bed with big business. This is terrible, right? We didn't elect these corporations. We elected the government, and now these corporations are running the government, right? Did you agree with that?
Yes.
When Trump sits up there with next to the biggest companies in the world, the CEOs at the inauguration, right? It's not a party, a meeting. It's not
at Mar-a-Lago.
A meeting, right, at Mar-a-Lago where he's like, we're going to have a meeting about business in America. Different story. Then it's like, yes, he should be talking to them. When they're at the inauguration sitting right behind him, it's like that's just blatantly showing that the government is back in bed with big business instead of the healthcare companies, which it was with Biden. And even, by the way, Biden.
Go, Banks.
Everyone had the problem of Biden was in bed with Twitter and Facebook and Amazon. They were restricting all these people. And now it's like Twitter, which is now Elon, Facebook, which is Zuckerberg, and Amazon. Now they're sitting, and everyone, all these Republicans are like, this is awesome. Trump has got the. It's like, no, it's the same exact thing. But people are, because it's Trump, people are like, oh, I don't care anymore.
No, you're right.
People aren't as up in arms.
You're right.
As they were with Biden. I'm like, that's part of the problem.
You're right.
Like, you can't just you can't be against something and then let your candidate get away with it.
I agree with you, but I think there's a little bit difference where I think that people believe with Trump that he's going to do good for America, and they trust him, have more faith in him than with Biden, who was more self-serving, who wanted to, we believe, harm America, like with Obama. So I think that people, the reason...
I don't think Biden wanted to harm America.
I don't know if I agree. I think it was so self-serving, Biden. I think that people...
Well, that's different.
But let me finish.
Than wanting to harm America.
Let me finish for a second. I think that, like, my view and other people similar to me truly believe that Trump is doing what is best for America and doesn't need this shit, considering his financial position in life. He's already been president. He doesn't need this aggravation. They try to take him down. He is no pushover. They tried to kill him twice. He's so fed up and wants to make America really great again.
Okay.
So if he's in with these leaders and doing these things, whatever, he has, and he's a bright guy. He's definitely a bright guy, even though he talks some stupid things. He's obviously successful and bright, where there's no faith in Biden and his team, and there's faith in Trump. And if he's our leader, we're going to put some trust in him. I agree with what you're saying about the
and
things.
I agree with what you're saying.
And I agree
I'm
with
saying
what
the
you're saying.
optics of it. It's like
You're right, but I
and then everyone is just being like, you know, Ben Shapiro a year ago was like, this. It's terrible that these big mega corporations are buddies with the government, and you know they're all kind of in cahoots. But then now he's like, it's amazing that Elon and Trump are best friends. It's like Elon wants mega corporations. Now I don't mind
You're
Elon,
right, I hear
but
you.
it's like we didn't elect Elon to be in government. We just didn't. Right? It's like I love Elon and what he's doing, but the fact that he's buddies with Trump, it's like it's the same thing. It's the government is in bed with mega corporations. They still are.
Right.
Now we might like these corporations more than the other ones,
but a couple of things.
but still, it's like there should be a big gap between the government and companies.
But there's a couple of things in that. So,
and that gap is being erased a bit.
Okay,
because they're
but-
sitting on the inauguration
Right,
stage.
But on the same token, number one is, so let's take someone like Elon. So if Trump, who's a smart businessman, and he's now in government and he's running our country, so to speak, not so to speak, and he's the leader of it.
When this episode comes out, it's the inauguration.
Right. So what happens is when he's putting people in positions to run departments and trim the fat and do what needs to be done to bring America to get it better, to get it economically better, get our budget better, get our security better, getting our borders better, getting, you know, all these things, because we see how much money has flown through in the past 8 years that's even unaccounted for. We've seen the corruption on the local level, and we've seen the corruption on the federal level, right, the national level. So who better to get, if you're a smart businessman, than a team of smart business people who are successful, proven track record. So who don't.
But a year ago, you didn't trust Zuckerberg, and now you think
No,
if Trump trusts him,
I
I'm
don't
okay
like.
with it.
I don't like.
What about
Zuckerberg.
Jeff Bezos and Amazon?
No, I don't like Jeff Bezos.
A year ago, they
I
were
said,
an
I don't
evil
like them.
corporation.
I don't listen, but we do know that Elon is part of his, I'm going to call it, cabinet. We don't know. There's nothing that's as we sit here today about Zuckerberg or.
Yeah, but they're at the inauguration,
But
so
it
they're right
could be
next to Elon.
Okay,
so
but,
it's like,
but just maybe. Listen, he's working. I don't think Zuckerberg and Jeff Bezos are in his cabinets. I think Elon is. I think like that guy, Cash and all those other things.
Cash is a government guy. He's always been in the government.
Okay, but
he doesn't run a corporation.
What I'm saying is, I think that Trump is smart, and maybe he's negotiating certain things to make those platforms, or Amazon, which is beyond, it's like owns the world now. I don't know the answer to that, but I do trust Trump to do the right thing. And I got to tell you, we need a change. We need to make America better. There's been a lot of problems.
But a change isn't Zuckerberg and Bezos, because they've been here for the last 10 years.
I get it, but
and 5 years ago, when they were operating their companies the exact same way that they're operating them now, in the exact same scale, they were bad because the country was bad. Now it's like, you're saying we need to change, but we have the same guys.
No,
it's like, no. Let's bring new people and let's figure something else out.
I don't know.
Amazon is bad.
We don't know. Listen, for all we know, Amazon and Facebook said, get me a ticket to this thing. They're very powerful people.
But 2 years ago, Trump was like, Zuckerberg kicked me off Facebook. I'm starting my own one because Facebook is evil and corrupt and in the hands of the lib, blah, blah, blah. Zuckerberg was Zuckerberg was the enemy to Trump.
You said last episode, can't people change? No,
yes, no, I know.
I don't trust Zuckerberg.
But when you're Trump, it's different.
I don't trust him. Bronny, All you're saying is they're sitting there behind him. We don't know what involvement is. We don't know. I'm saying I know Trump from what I know of Trump. I trust him. I have faith in him. I like Elon Musk. I think Elon Musk is a huge innovator, very successful. I think the fact that the guy bought for $44 billion, whatever it was, Twitter to just have free speech, he cares. He's like Trump. Like, I think these guys don't need this shit. But they're doing it because they want it for just like you want to do what, Skylink, whatever it's called, for the free Wi-Fi. So I'm happy if Elon Musk I respect him. I think of him as a leader, an innovator. So I'm happy that, just like Kennedy, I'm happy Kennedy's involved with Trump. So I don't know about Facebook and Amazon. I don't know the involvement with it. And I agree from an optics standpoint. But I do have faith in Trump, and I do believe he's going to do the right thing, and I believe he's going to bring back America and make America strong. And the fact that everybody wants to now kiss his ass and change the tune, listen, they're almost like fucking taking a knee to Trump.
Well, I think that's a good thing.
I think it's a great thing, yes.
Yeah. And I think we should encourage that, not shame people.
I'm
not saying you are. I'm just talking out loud.
But, and I also don't think it's a bad idea that, like, little kids fear their parents to some degree. I think these people should fucking fear Trump. I think it's great. I'm excited to see what he's going to do, Bronny.
Well, yeah, apparently starting on like Tuesday, the day after, because the government shut down on Monday,
right?
Because it's Martin Luther King Day. So like the first day of Trump's government, apparently they're saying that there are going to be all of these immigration, like ICE raids.
Yes.
Just like that's going to, another thing about optics, it's like that's going to be crazy.
And I got to tell you, I don't know anything about the guy. I forget his name. Holman, whatever, the guy for the border.
Yeah.
But he's strong. I like it. There's bullshit. No more bullshit.
Yeah, but so there are going to be like law enforcement officers that are going, apparently in like Chicago and New York, these raids are going to happen. They're going to be going and like dragging people out of homes and like shipping them out of the country on Trump's first day in office. It's
but
like,
if they're not here.
That's what he promised. So, I mean, yeah, kudos if he's actually going to do it. We'll see come Tuesday if these things actually happen. It's just apparently people are saying that this is going to happen.
Who knows what's
going
to happen?
If it does, it's like, wow, watching that on like Twitter is going to be crazy.
Scary. But if they're here illegally, that's the risk they take, Bronny. It's sad.
I know, but
I hear you.
Yes and no, because also like part of it, you don't believe it. Like, I don't want to say, I can't say things, but there are people in your life that can just be dragged away.
Yes. No, I get
it.
it.
Like, do you want that?
No.
And they are like, so yeah, those people are here illegally.
Scary.
But it's like, we're gonna see videos of like a grandma in Chicago.
I don't think they're going after that first, right?
Well, I don't know. We don't know yet. But like that person is here illegally. But it's like,
it's scary.
I'm conflicted on that
me too.
And like that's gonna be a crazy first day in office if it happens. That's what they're saying.
I think that all the borders should be shut down. That's what they should do first thing, and then slowly work on the interior component and get rid of the people they know that are.
Yes, I think stop people coming in first before we kick people out.
And
because then it's like a siphon. You can't like if you have a leak in the boat.
No,
you got to plug the leak before you start shoveling the water.
And I think between you,
that was a good analogy.
Right. And and I think they're going to work on getting the hardcore criminals out first. And the problem.
How do you know? Who do you know? How do you know who
they know? A lot of them. They know. It's crazy, but I'm excited for Trump. We need it. We've always seen things change.
Yeah,
for the better.
The Israel ceasefire.
Yeah, so I know a little bit about that.
It takes effect today, Sunday. So I guess like
we're releasing 1,000 prisoners. We are. That's crazy for 33 hostages, and they're doing over drips and drabs.
Yeah, it's like stages.
How fucked up is that?
Why?
Just fucking give them back.
Well, wait, but if there's a war, what was that noise?
I just squeaked.
If there's a war that ends, why should we be holding prisoners of war? The war's over, right? Like if it was World War II and we had a bunch of Soviet Union soldiers in prison in America because we were fighting. Well, we weren't fighting against them, but let's say we were fighting against them. And then the war's over. It's like, why are we still holding them prisoners? They didn't break any American law, right? Like, why should Israel, once there's a ceasefire, why should Israel hold any prisoners of war? Because the war's over.
Okay, so I hear you on that.
That only keeps the war alive because it's like, no, we're still holding you guys. We're against you. It's like, no. The whole point of the ceasefire is saying we are not against each other anymore. This is over. We are trying to make amends.
See,
so if you're holding all of their, right, like if we think about it the other way, if we were at war with, let's say we were at war with Afghanistan, which we were, right? Like the Taliban. We pulled out, remember, recently under Biden. We pulled out because we were like, this is over. We're all calling this over. It's done. If they still had 1,000 American soldiers, we wouldn't feel it's over anymore. We would still be like, they fucking have our people. We need to go back in there. Don't you think? If it was the other way and the war was now over with the Taliban, but there were still a bunch of American soldiers in prison there, you wouldn't feel it's over.
Back. I get it.
And you wouldn't internally feel it's over. So as a way to make it over, I think you need to release, like everyone involved in this conflict needs to be given back to their sides. I think that's the only way to end it.
I think this ceasefire thing is a mistake.
Why?
On behalf of Israel. I think because it's in 10 years from now, it's going to happen again.
Yeah. Oh, it probably will. But so why do
I just think?
But if in 10 years it's going to happen again, so then what do you think needs to happen now?
I think you just have to destroy them all and start over.
Yeah, but that's just the most insane thing ever.
Okay, I'm just making
destroy them all, even like the 3-year-old.
I don't know. It's a terrible thing.
I'm asking
those 3-year-olds.
I'm asking you. Yes,
those 3-year-olds are going to kill our 3-year-olds.
So you need to kill that. The 3-year-old right now. It's a 3-year-old, not a 30-year-old. That 3-year-old. If you had a gun in your hand, you're saying you should kill that 3-year-old.
I'm not killing it.
No, but so you're just going to have someone else do your bidding.
I don't know what the answer is, but that's a problem.
But I'm asking you. So you're saying, it's fine for someone else to just do what I want them to do. No, if you with the gun in your hand,
I think that it's
you're killing that 3-year-old.
I think that people need to. I don't know. People need to leave that country who are good people, and then just got to, or take
how do you
it
decide
over.
that?
Maybe Israel takes it over.
Oh, and that's just
and the people
then that 3-year-old now is under an occupied person that hates them, and they're just gonna they're gonna grow up to be a great Israeli.
I don't know.
Yes, they do. You think Israel likes Palestinians?
There's plenty of Palestinians in the Israeli country.
Not plenty.
There are that
3-year-old. That 3-year-old that you just said needs to die.
I didn't say you don't listen.
You did because you said he'll grow up to kill our 3-year-old.
I think there's going to be a problem.
Israel, as a government, does not like Palestinians. Come on. They do not like
but
people
they
that
work
live in
with
Gaza.
them every day.
Barely, a handful of them. Barely any. They kill more than they work with on a daily basis. I'm not saying that they're unjustified, but that doesn't mean they like them.
I don't know. It's so complicated, Bronny.
We worked
I don't know the
with
answer.
plenty of people in Afghanistan. The American government worked with plenty of people in Afghanistan when we were there against the Taliban. We don't like Afghanis, right? Like that. We killed way more.
Is that what they call Afghanis?
Yeah. We killed way more of them than we like.
The whole thing's sad, Bronny. I don't have an answer. The whole thing is sad.
But you did it. You just said you had an answer. Kill the 3-year-old. And I'm saying that's not right.
Okay, I hear you.
That's what Hamas leadership is saying. We need to kill the Israeli 3-year-old because when they grow up to be a 30-year-old, they're going to kill ours.
Yeah, but Israel's not a terrorist group. Hamas is.
But you just said we need to kill a 3-year-old. That's what a terrorist says.
No, but
a good person doesn't say we need to kill a 3-year-old.
I'm not a good person.
No, but that's a really serious statement. We need to kill a 3-year-old.
No, okay.
You said that.
No, I'm saying
that's what a terrorist says.
I'm not having this conversation with you because it's fucking. I love you, but you keep saying the same thing 15 times over. And don't let me speak. And you're taking shit out of context like you always do. And you're taking one sentence out of.
No, but that's a sentence you said. I'm not taking it out of context.
Yes, you are 100%.
What's the context? That they're bad?
I'm saying I don't know if I agree the fact that the ceasefire because all you're doing is you didn't cut the head off the snake.
But how do you?
I don't know the answer. But I think you have to destroy the whole. I think they're. Let people get out who are good people and whatever
it is.
Determine that? I don't know the answer to that.
Because there isn't one. That's the thing.
Right, there isn't one, but I do know.
So then what do? This is at least an answer. Okay, let's hold everything off so there's no more killing. It is,
but I'm okay.
But if the ceasefire wasn't in place, people tomorrow on Monday, there would be more people dying.
Right.
Now that it is in place, there's not people dying. Israeli and Palestinian. So you're saying you'd rather people be dying than not.
War possibly, maybe to stop I don't know the answer. Yes.
How can you ever stop it? Because even let's take your extreme to the extreme, right? Like let's say you're saying in 10 years from now, it's just going to happen again. So we need to exterminate all of them, right? Like that's the extreme. Let's run that out, right? Okay, so we don't want a conflict to 10 years. We don't want another conflict in 10 years. So let's get rid of every Palestinian now so that we don't have a conflict. You don't think that will cause... wait, hold on.
I do not want to get rid of every Palestinian.
But let's because I'm just running that out to its logical extreme. If we kill every Palestinian, we as in Israel, right? Kill every Palestinian now, every single one of them, so that there's no conflict with any Palestinian in 10 years because there's no more of them. You don't think that will cause other conflicts?
No.
You don't think Iran will be like, now we're going to war with you?
I agree
right?
with
like, there's
you.
no...
I agree with you. I don't think that's the right answer. I agree with you.
It's not. So at least now, it's like, might not be the best situation for anyone, but at least it's like, okay, there's no more killing, and let's figure out what we can do.
I get it, but I think you have to kill the terrorist groups. You have to...
But they've done a shit job at it, Israel.
No, I think they've done a good job.
We've had 2 years, and they're still going.
What are you yelling for? What the fuck is with you?
Israel...
Hey, stop. Let's have a conversation. You're yelling.
I'm not yelling at you.
I know, but just have a conversation.
Israel...
There's so much... Just have a conversation.
Israel has had 2 years. Israel, the best army in the world, as we think of them.
Has
had 2 years to... Hamas is very small, right? There's barely any Palestinians compared to the amount of Israel. I think the IDF is like triple the size of the amount of Palestinians, let alone Hamas soldiers, right?
Hamas is pretty strong.
Okay,
and pretty powerful and spread out and not stupid. And Israeli IDF has done a lot of good things.
But you're saying this ceasefire is bad because they should just finish off Hamas. It's like, okay, they've had 2 years to finish off Hamas. They've barely gotten any hostages back. They've barely weakened Hamas.
That's not true. I disagree with you.
But if it's not true, if they weakened Hamas, why would they sign on to a ceasefire? Why wouldn't they just be like, we need to end it?
No.
They've still had our hostages. If we weaken them enough...
Oh, my God.
Wait up, but I was in the middle of a sentence. You're saying, no.
Okay.
I got to finish my sentence.
Because what you're saying is not true.
I know, but then you're saying... But you're saying, like, I'm still talking, but you got to let me finish my sentence.
Go ahead.
You were saying, no, interrupting me.
Because you're talking a lot.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, sorry, you go.
No, go ahead. I want to hear what you have to say.
What were you going to say?
No, please, let's not do this. I want to hear what you have to finish it. You said they've barely weakened Hamas.
Right, because we haven't got our hostages back.
Okay. There's a difference. There's a huge difference. Hamas is we have weakened Hamas, and that's
how so.
Okay,
I'm genuinely asking.
They have. They've taken out so many of their army bases. They've taken out a lot of their communication.
Okay, but how has that helped us in the war?
Because now
we haven't gotten hostages back.
Bronny, because of what Israel has done to Hamas, now Hamas is saying, yes, we want to have a ceasefire. We want to work something out. That's the reason why.
I think Israel in this situation is the one that was like, okay, fine, we'll have the ceasefire. That's
no. I think Hamas has been wanting to have ceasefire for quite some time.
Exactly.
And now
and finally Israel now because Trump went in there and was like, my boy Bibi. He was like, you need to cut this shit out. We need to stop it. So I think that's why there's a ceasefire now. I think Israel conceded at this point, not Hamas.
But no, Hamas conceded earlier. Hamas is let me finish.
Sorry.
Hamas has wanted to do the ceasefire.
Exactly.
Okay, let me finish, please. I'm begging you, Bronny. I love you. You got to let me finish the sentence. We know that Trump is an integral part in a lot of the stuff. Okay, I think a lot of people are doing these things before Trump gets in office, whatever, because they don't want to deal with whatever Trump's threats have been. Hamas, Israel has done, I think, a very good job in trying to harm Hamas and do what they did.
How so? What? Give me specific. No.
They've taken a lot of their bases away. Yes,
we haven't really gained any land in Palestine, in Gaza.
That's not true, Bronny. We're not getting land. They've annihilated. They destroyed it. They destroyed the communication.
They haven't moved in and taken over.
But there's nothing to take over. All it is a rebel. There's no people there. There's no. Okay.
The only reason that the IDF has continued this war, at least what they say, right? Like their mandate is, all we want is our hostages back. So we're going to keep killing you guys until our hostages come back. We haven't gotten any of them back until the ceasefire. So how good of a job have they done?
I think Netanyahu wants to finish it completely altogether, and I think that Trump said we need to stop it. I think Netanyahu is going to go to the very end, destroy the entire place. Okay.
Yes.
And they've done a lot of good things, and now I think.
But like, you still haven't given me. I've
told you
they've taken out a lot of our people.
Listen,
Yes, they have.
Okay. I told you. You asked me. I've given you 5 examples.
You said we've taken out bases. What bases have we taken out? They don't have bases. They have tunnels underneath.
We've destroyed so many of the stuff I was watching.
We've destroyed a lot of their buildings. Yes,
and they're.
But that wasn't our goal. Our goal was to get hostages.
Bronny, it's a war to get the hostages back.
And we haven't gotten any of them back. We've destroyed all of their shit.
You know, I love you.
But for real, I think the IDF has done a shit job because their one goal was get the hostages back. They haven't gotten any of them back. Instead, they've just killed a bunch of people and razed a bunch of cities.
Because, okay, but let me explain something. They
haven't achieved their goal.
No, Bronny, when you have war, it's like a relationship or a marriage. It takes 2. We're going to keep doing what we need to do, keep being consistent until they concede.
But see, I don't think that's a bad. I don't think that's a good way to do wars. Or that's a good strategy.
When you're dealing with sickos, these are sick fucking people. Let me explain the difference. When you deal with people who kill themselves for a message, okay, as opposed to Israeli army who knows that they're fighting not a particular, it's a very complicated war. They want to help with civilians, not kill civilians. We have the Hamas hiding behind the hospitals, schools, children. These are sickos. So they will take their own lives to prove a point, where a normal person will not take their own life to prove a point.
But what has the IDF done to get a hostage back?
Okay. They are literally
bomb a building.
How
does that help get a hostage back?
Okay, Bronny.
No, for real, I'm asking.
I know. They keep destroying their places.
How does that get a hostage back?
Because they keep.
It doesn't work for 2 years.
Because they keep
maybe change your strategy.
What's the strategy? They keep putting more pressure.
No, if you're the IDF,
right, lower your voice. Listen, do you talk to your fiance this way?
The U.S. government, all of our movies are about our elite special forces, right? If they need to get someone out behind enemy lines, they don't just bomb. They go and they sneak through, and they have intelligence.
They deal with the beepers. They killed the leaders.
They haven't got a hostage back.
Okay, but Bronny, they're slow. Bronny,
but it hasn't been working. If the strategy is bomb.
It does work. You're slowly taking away and breaking down their thing until they become weaker.
But you just said Israel's the one that conceded now. Hamas has been trying to get a ceasefire for months. You just said that.
They've been trying. No, they've been trying. You said that Israel's been doing a shit job. I disagree.
I'm getting hostages back.
You're the only one, with the army. You're the only one that thinks that Israel's doing a shit job fighting
I'm getting
Hamas.
hostages back. Yes, I do. No, I'm not the only one. Right. Wait, Dad. Have hostages. Wait, so if Israel is trying, hold on.
You can't live your life in such a literal way. You're going to be a lawyer.
Let me finish. If Israel is trying to get hostages back for 2 years, and they've been trying the strategy of what you say of putting pressure on them to do it, right? I guess that's what you're saying, by bombing. If they've been trying that for 2 years with the goal of getting hostages back, and they haven't gotten any hostages back, then at a certain point you have to be like, okay, we have to change our strategy, right? I don't think elite special forces. I don't think the best strategy is we need to get these 3 people out of some tunnel that we don't know where they are. Let's just bomb buildings. That doesn't seem like a good strategy to me. I think that's a failure of intelligence, special forces. I think when I think of special forces, I think, if there are 7 people hidden in a tunnel, we need to find out where that fucking tunnel is, go in there and bring them out, extract them, not bomb this building. To me, that doesn't seem like a good strategy. And I think if the goal of the IDF was, we want to get our 73 hostages back, and they haven't gotten a single one, then to me, I'm like, you guys failed. Because at least if you were bringing them out piecemeal, you know?
I don't look at it that way. I think the fact is, here's the thing, because you're talking in general statements that you don't have knowledge of. Let me tell you why.
General statements.
Because
do you have knowledge of the statements you've been saying?
Let me finish.
When you say these are general statements, what does that mean?
I'm going to tell you if you let me finish my fucking thought. Okay? The Hamas terrorist group are very smart, right? We know what
general statement. Like what?
Okay.
No, but what?
Because I'm telling a situation.
I know, but so was I, and then you dismiss it by saying, well, those are general statements you don't know. You just said that. Those are general statements that you don't have the knowledge of. That's just completely dismisses everything that someone says.
They should just go in, special forces into the tunnel and take the hostages out one by one. And I'm like, that's such a...
No, I'm saying
okay.
if you think about it in bigger terms, if someone is doing a strategy for 2 years without results, if you're in business, think about it. Any other...
Your analogy doesn't work. That analogy doesn't work, Bronson.
Why?
Because if they're in these tunnels, and Hamas is very, very smart in what they're doing, okay, and you have the intelligence of, let's say, where they are, okay, they have probably a certain way where if you come in, they'll kill the hostages because they don't care. They'll take their own life, these people. They'll kill the hostages. So as a result of it, that kind of fighting, that theory doesn't necessarily work.
So just killing children
let me finish.
is better?
So what happens? No, but if they
how do you know that doesn't work? I'm asking you. You're saying my thing, I don't have knowledge. How do you know that type of strategy doesn't work?
Because the intelligence first of all, they have gone in. I remember there was about 2 months ago where they have gotten certain hostages out where in that particular circumstance that did work.
Yes.
Right. But I do believe that the IDF, their intelligence is much smarter than you and I. So when you say, for example, it doesn't work, it's not like Netanyahu's just going and saying, just go and bomb everybody and let's see if that works.
But you just said Netanyahu wants to just end them all. That's his goal. I don't think his goal is the hostages. I think he just wants to fucking have a big war.
Okay. I don't know if I necessarily agree with you on that, but I'm not Netanyahu. But I don't think it was that easy, Bronson, just go and
it's easy.
Take the hostages out. It would have been a long time ago because I think that these
That's not what I'm saying. I don't think it's easy. I'm just saying the IDF is portraying to the world that the only reason we're fighting is because we want our hostages. And I'm saying, well, you guys have done a shit job at that. And so that's why I think, actually, that's not why you're fighting. Because if that was the only reason why you were doing what you were doing, you wouldn't be bombing cities. That's not helping you with the hostages. That's it's my opinion. And I just think...
But when you bomb, do you also...
I just don't think the IDF...
When you fight, too, there's a position of the intelligence of doing it that way, and there's also a position of showing your strength.
Yeah, but don't you think they've shown their strength enough? It's been 2 years, and it hasn't helped. That's what I'm saying. If it's 2 years of showing your strength by saying, we can bomb your buildings, we're going to destroy all your cities because we want these 73 people back, and we've gotten like 10 of them back. It's like, maybe that show of strength isn't working anymore.
But Brian,
that's just my opinion.
I respect that. There are people, these terrorists, these Hamas, things like that, these are sick, irrational individuals. Not an easy way to fight these people because they don't care. They don't care. I do think that Trump had something to do with this.
Well, he did. He sent one of his some real estate mogul or something, some Jewish guy who's his friend. He sent him to Israel, and then 2 days later the ceasefire was.
Yeah,
Will the ceasefire stay in place?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't understand why they're doing it in drips and drabs either. I don't understand that. It makes no sense to me.
I think it's...
And they're supposed to give by yesterday or today the list of the people.
Yeah, they did. They released names that they're giving. I saw pictures of women that are going to be released today. There are a few young women that are released today, and old people.
Why would they give them all?
I think it makes sense to stagger it on both sides
to see if they're legit or not.
Well, it also, if let's say you're saying this ceasefire is going to be perpetual, where we want this war to end. We're going to give all our chips over each side in one day. It's like, why wouldn't Hamas then 2 days later be like, okay, now we're going to attack again? If you can piecemeal it out, then you can at least ensure that we have a couple months of ceasefire because we each have chips to play.
It's brutal. I can't imagine these people that have been hostages for. I can't even imagine what.
I'm surprised they're still alive.
So they interviewed a woman who was let go a while ago. That I saw in the interview yesterday, and she said the condition. She was let go a while back. She said the conditions are so bad. They don't tell you anything. You think, she says, that you have that what they're telling you, and this was back then, that we defeated Israel. There is no home for you to go back to.
But to me, I don't view any of that as
I'm just
particularly bad because that's what every country does.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying how scary.
Oh no, it's definitely scary.
But
that's not a Hamas only.
I'm not saying about Hamas. I'm just saying that
it's scary for
these people who are literally if they have 3 more months. And she said when they let go, she didn't even know till that right when it happened that moment. So it's no hope.
Yeah, no, that it is.
And you're talking where it's not like you're in a first world country where these are hostages.
First world countries, you know what we do to our hostages? Do you remember Abu Ghraib? We just straight up tortured them. There are pictures of it because the U.S. soldiers didn't just torture them, but then they posed laughing with the tortured person bleeding out, waterboarded, being hung.
Okay.
Have you seen those pictures?
No, I won't watch it. I won't watch that.
Right, but so you're saying they're not in a first world country. It's just as bad.
Okay, but I'm not saying torture. That's what I'm trying. I'm not saying torture is bad. I'm just saying, if they're in prison, and it's not a great place.
Yeah, but the U.S. prisons for prisoners of war, Abu Ghraib. What's the one in Cuba? What's it called? Oh, it's the famous one. Guantanamo Bay. Right? These are
people
dungeons.
People are evil. People are evil.
Yeah, I'm not saying, Hamas isn't doing anything
and I
bad.
want to say one more thing. And I'm not saying, but prisoner of war that people that they caught who are trying to harm, as opposed to
Yes,
mothers, children,
100%.
families on a kibbutz who are just going about their fucking way.
100%.
And then, okay, that gives me chills talking about it.
Yeah.
That's a huge fucking thing.
Definitely.
And by the way, I know we've had this conversation over and over again. Well, what Hamas thinks, but this is just like someone come right now. Israel's not looking to be the aggressor before this happened, before October 7th. Everyone's living their fucking life, and they came in and fucking did it in
Those people, those
in a
hostages specifically, yes.
in a barbaric way. And even, it's like this. You go to jail, when you're in prison in America, people know that the worst fucking killers and rapists, whatever, they know if you rape a child, you're like the evil of evil. So when they did what they did, those are evil fucking people. I don't think they should be living. The Israelis were living their life. The Israeli government's not. Israeli government.
Israeli government different, but those hostages specifically were just living their life.
Even the Israeli army is not saying, let's go, we want war. No, we don't want war.
No, I think I think Netanyahu wants war and has, but those individual hostages, yes.
Okay, these are evil fucking people.
Yes,
evil.
definitely.
And now they're in these fucking things for 2 years. Almost 2 fucking years. In these conditions, fuck that.
I
and
agree.
the people that did that today, that are prisoner of wars, fuck those people. I wouldn't torture them. I think that's just fucking kill them. Not even waste a bullet on it. I mean, one bullet's fine.
Yeah.
I don't know. The whole thing's terrible. And there's no right answer.
No, there isn't.
I wouldn't want to be in Netanyahu's position. Okay, it's
There's
a
no
bad
right
fucking
answer.
thing. But I always say it. If it's someone else's kid or my kid, fuck your kid. I'm taking care of my kid. I hate to say
I know,
it.
but maybe we can find a place where it doesn't have to be someone else's kid or your kid.
But you're right, and that's a nice way of saying
doesn't
it.
have to be that.
But here's the thing: if someone threatens my kid, an adult, no matter how much you talk about it, I will never trust that fucking person. The only way I would trust that person if they're 6 feet under. I hate to say it.
But there are plenty of. But you don't have. You can.
Did mom
not,
just come in?
Yeah,
Okay,
you
good.
cannot trust someone, and you don't have to kill their 3-year-old.
No, I'll kill the parent and I'll adopt the kid.
But like you cannot trust Hamas, but that doesn't mean you have to go and
I
annihilate
agree with
them.
you 110%, but I agree with you on that. But
You can just put in defensive measures.
But I will tell you, the answer is
Once
yes.
you start killing children on the offensive, now you're just as bad. But if you put in defensive measures, different
I
story.
don't think kids should be killed, period. Innocent people should not be killed. Evil people should be killed. Why don't I need them breathing my oxygen? Why don't I need them here?
Well, they'll view you as evil.
That's
So
okay.
they'll say the same thing.
But doesn't matter what they view me as. If I think I'm doing the right thing,
And they think they're doing the right thing.
Bronson, I understand they're psychos and sickos, but I want to protect my family.
Yeah. No, I understand.
Someone that comes in my home, breaks my home, who says, I'm going to steal because I need to feed my family, and therefore is going to take what belongs to me. Guess what? He thinks they're doing the right thing. I'm killing that person. Do you understand the difference?
Yes. There's more nuance than that, obviously, but yes.
Well, I'm making sure that
Yeah.
I'm protecting my family first, period.
Right, but there also is a world, and I'm not even being
You're right.
la-di-da, where that person doesn't have to break into your home and you don't have to kill them.
You're right.
That can also exist.
The answer is yes, but there's certain people who are just evil and sick.
Yes.
Like what they did on October 7th. Those people cannot coexist in my world.
Yeah.
They cannot. That's a different, Brian, that's a whole different mentality that you're never going to change.
Yes, I agree. Currently, when it's established in people, you can change it for the future. Like that 3-year-old, you can change.
Yes, but you can't.
But the
change-
person who's the 30-year-old in the
who's
tunnels,
raising that 3-year-old and teaching them, you can't change that.
Agreed.
It's sickness.
You can't change that. Yeah.
All right, I love you.
Love you too.
Bye, everybody. You're joking, right?
Well, I'm trying to be hopeful. I'm trying to be optimistic about that.
Well, I guess you're too young to be a little pessimistic like me. The fucking things I see out there, people are stupid.